Hello and welcome back to Viralstyle Academy. Again, my name is Luke Stassi. I am your host here and going through our Academy Series 101, which is teaching you the basics that you need to get started in selling t-shirts online. This video, we're going to be talking about the basics of copyright and what you need to know to make sure that you are not going to get yourself in trouble infringing on other people's legally owned images, trademarks, phrases, graphics, and etc. So to start this out, I just want to specify the fact that I am not a lawyer. I am not giving legal counsel. I am giving you the same basic information that you could find by doing research on your own on the internet. I would highly recommend to you that if you're ever in a questionable situation when making graphics and designs, that you do find a lawyer to review the stuff for you. I've got one that I regularly have review if it's anything that I'm wondering about or questioning. He does a little bit of research for me, gets back and lets me know, hey, you can do this or you can't do this. And I pick his brain all the time in regards to the legal stuff when it comes to design and copyright. He's significantly helped to educate me to make the right decisions. So I would encourage you to do the same, but this video is going to just go through the basics for you of what is copyright, how does that relate to you creating t-shirt designs. So first thing first, the most important part is do not infringe on any brands. I cannot stress this more. It could get you in trouble. It could get you sued. It could get you kicked off of the platform. So just don't do it. And I'm going to explain a little bit more in the rest of this video what that means. And just to say, be original. Don't copy other people's designs, but you can use them for inspiration. And the biggest thing is to not get into especially brands that are out there. So the first thing is, what is copyright? And in trying to understand exactly what do we mean when we say copyright. So copyright is legal protection over original works of authorship, which this would include art, music, writings, and specifically in this case is going to include designs. So that's the basic understanding of what is copyright. And then what is trademark? So trademark is going to be a registered symbol or logo from a brand. So easy way to understand this is the logo for the Charlotte Hornets. It's the swoosh for Nike. It's Coca-Cola's lettering and the way that their logo looks. You can get the idea. It's basically any registered trademark representing a brand. So it's a little different than a copyright, which is going to include basically all different forms of artistic expression. So if you need to learn more about this, you can jump on the internet and just search, hey, on Google, what is a copyright? And you can read all kinds of things about it that's put out that'll help you to better understand it. I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but I do want to give you some examples of where you can get it online and do a little bit of research so that you don't do anything that might get you sued or in trouble. So now I want to give you some tools of some websites that you can visit to do a little bit more research as to what is trademarked, what is copyrighted, so that you can make the right decisions to know that you're not going to make any mistakes and do something that might get yourself sued. So the first and my favorite website to use when doing this kind of research is trademarkia.com, which you can see up there in the URL. On this site, it's going to actually pull from the government databases in regards to registered copyrights and trademarks, but I find this site to be much easier to use than the government's actual website and other websites that are out there. It's easier to navigate, it's easier to find information. So something you need to think about in regards to copyright is that it might be easy to say, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say Charlotte Hornets. I'm not going to use their logo, but maybe I want to make a t-shirt that says Buzz City because, the Hornets are back and, Buzz City, hear all about that. And, oh man, that doesn't seem like that would be registered. Really, would it? Maybe I can put that on a t-shirt. And here's the problem is you don't really know what they have registered or don't have registered, particularly with sports teams or big brands. So you got to get on here and actually do a little bit of research for yourself and make sure that there's not something on here. So if you start searching Charlotte Hornets, you'll end up, finding some of the logos, and then you can click on to the team itself and it'll show all these different logos that they have here. Clearly you can't use any of these. But then you get down far enough and you see that they have registered Buzz City specifically for t-shirts and clothing. So if you were to put Buzz City onto a t-shirt, you would be infringing and you could get sued for that. You can also go through these different pages and see everything else they have registered. And, maybe you can come up with another idea that may be marketing to the Hornets fan base that has no infringing on their logos, their copyrights, or their general brand representation. But you can't use anything that is registered in here. Absolutely not. So another thing to think about, and this is something to talk to a lawyer about, is the concept of brand confusion, and that really you can't be misrepresenting a brand or pretending to be a brand. If you do that, you could also get yourself sued. So if you need more clarity on that, please get some legal counsel and they can talk you through what does it mean to get involved in brand confusion. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving the advice, a little bit of pieces of information that I have learned along the way. Another thing to look into is, let's say, you were watching the Seahawks were playing really well, winning Super Bowls, and Marshawn Lynch was tearing it up, and he had this nickname of Beast Mode. And you're like, oh, I'm going to put Beast Mode on a t-shirt, and I'm going to make colors that kind of look like the Seahawks, and that shouldn't be a big deal. It doesn't seem like it'd be infringing. Well, if you get on here and you type in Beast Mode, you're going to find all kinds of different things registered, such as protein shakes and candy and software. And obviously, none of these have anything to do with t-shirts, so you're not really worried about that so much. But if you go in a few pages, you get to page 3, you're going to see t-shirts right here. And you click on this, and you'll actually see this is registered by Marshawn Lynch. So he actually has put a claim out on this phrase. So if you try using this and it looks like it's anything to do with Marshawn Lynch, or you're marketing to his fans, or you're using the Seattle Seahawks colors, you are infringing. And if you click on his name, you can actually get in here and see anything else he may have registered. So he's actually registered a few different phrases about that action, and I'm just here so I don't get fined. So clearly he's realizing that some catchphrases can make him money. So he went ahead and just copyrighted them. So you can't use any of this stuff, just to be clear. Also, like another example is, let's say you wanted to make a shirt that you thought might market to Ohio State football fans. And you're not going to use any of the names and logos, but let's say you're like, oh, I'll just put in Brutus there. Surely, I can get away with saying the word Brutus. Well, if you come in here and you look at what they actually have registered, you're going to come across that many number of things are registered for Ohio State University, one of which is, let's see, Brutus Buckeye. And, see here it says dead circa 2000. I guarantee you that if you get deeper into what they actually have registered, you're going to find that Brutus Buckeye is, in fact, a registered thing. So even if it's expired, they probably renew it. It may end up just with a different copyright number to it. So just don't mess around with that kind of stuff. A few other websites you can use as resources. One is trademarks.justia.com. You can again do searches just like the other site, but they also have on here like major brands right at the top, such as Disney. You can click here and actually go through all of these different trademarks that Disney owns. So you can make sure that you don't infringe on what they've got going on and end up getting sued. And lastly, if you go to the government website, uspto.gov, that's the United States Patent and Trademark Office. This site is also going to give you the same information. It's just a little bit more difficult to use than Trademarkia. That's why I prefer to use Trademarkia for my own personal research. So take full advantage of these tools online to do your research. And I would really highly encourage you that if you're not sure about something, just contact Viralstyle and they can say, hey, yeah, don't do this, don't do that, but you're okay doing this. And they could help define the boundaries for you before you launch a design that could potentially be infringing. I also want to again reiterate that all the stuff I covered in here is really in regards to major brands and logos and major brand identities. But what if you see some other person's t-shirt that's out there? Well, the way copyright works, and again, I'm not a lawyer, this is just the basic understanding of it, is that as soon as somebody creates an original piece of art, which would include a design for a t-shirt, they would technically own copyright of that original work, even if they haven't yet filed for a copyright number. So just don't copy people. Don't do exact duplicates. It's stealing. It's unethical. But what you can do is, there's nothing new under the sun. You don't reinvent the wheel. If you see something that inspires you, just take it and make it unique. Make it an original work. Make it your own. Change the layout. Change the font, change the graphics, and change the wording of the phrasing to make it more powerful or more interesting. And if you do something like that, now you have a brand new original work that technically you would own copyright of and you could sue somebody for if you really wanted to. So be original, don't steal, make the most of it. And I hope you learned a little bit today about copyright and what to not do and what you can do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.